Johnny here for Johnny's Car Care and Reviews. Today we're gonna hop in the Bronco, put the pedal to the metal, you know, tear it through some cornfields, tear it through some grass fields, and do some Baja style driving, but not quite Baja, because we're not in the desert. We're gonna be speed driving through some forest roads that are pretty bumpy, changing elevations. So we're just gonna have a little fun today. I'm gonna be explaining to you all why I really feel the Badlands was the best model for me. I'm also going to tell you about the limitations of the soft top, but also things that I absolutely love about the soft top. Be talking about road noise and whatnot. And, you know, I will touch on that sound system, which surprisingly I tested with the top down and found to be fantastic. Now, I have to tell you, the family definitely enjoyed this little road trip. So we're going to be spinning it up in, you know, two-wheel drive. We'll also be doing some high-speed driving in four-wheel drive. So, you know, I really hope you tag along, jump in and take this ride with me, because I know the family found it extremely fun. They had an absolute blast, and I think you're gonna have a blast watching this video. So let's just, you know, jump right in. You can see Winston's excited to jump into this video and get this off-roading experience going. Now, this won't be extreme rock climbing. I haven't found the right location for that yet. My parents' trail isn't quite ready, but, you know, I am going to cover some important tips like wrapping your vehicle, and also, you know, here I just rinsed off at the end of the day the Bronco, and I have to tell you, because I did a ceramic detailer, you know, multiple brands that I like, but that really made it so I just cracked out the pressure wash and everything was good to go. And that's really what I hope this YouTube channel is all about for everyone. A community where we can help each other out, give each other tricks. Even a Jeep guy, actually two Jeep guys gave me the huge thumbs up. I respect their choice, they respect my choice, and we both have great off-road toys. So let's jump into this. So if you want to get your Bronco in the field and do donuts, that is, or zigzag and shoot mud all over the place, that's very different than running into the woods where you don't want to slip and you don't want to really kind of, you know, be spinning the tires. So I put it in 2 high mode. I turned off the traction control up on the dash, and then you get to fling some mud and have a little fun shooting all over. Now, I look forward to when this is covered in snow, because I won't be shooting rocks and large clumps of mud quite so much on my vehicle, but that's why I did wrap the bottom of the vehicle. It doesn't really show when it's clean, but I think a wrap's a really good idea. I'd rather wrap than the mud guards, because no matter what mud guards you get, you're probably still going to get some mud up onto the body of the vehicle. And with the wrap, well, I've got thick plastic protecting me against the rocks that I probably was kicking up that's in the field. You know, these fields are never perfect dirt or perfect mud. So that's just a good little idea before you go out and have a little bit of fun. And that's why I've been waiting to really bring the Bronco anywhere other than on pavement. Didn't even want to put it on gravel, because I was waiting for the wrap, because as I was going down this gravel road at 110 kilometers an hour, so about 65 miles per hour, boy was I ever happy to have the wrap when I heard all the clinging and clanging against my paint. So wrap's my #1 tip before you head out. And if you do want to play in some mud and spin her around, well, definitely put her in 2 high, turn off the traction control, and if you're in some, you know, deep mud and you don't want to risk getting stuck, well, that's what Baja mode is for. So I hope this has been helpful. So heads up, I'm just taking the traction control off. Now you can note that I have broken in the motor. So I did my 1,500 kilometers or 1,000 miles of varying my speeds and never overworking the engine, which means, you know, generally trying to keep it under 3,000 RPM. The engine's broken in, so no damage done here, and I do watch the red line. I don't want to just keep it in the red line for, you know, minutes at end because I'm spinning those tires. So those are things to keep in mind. I want to help the community out. That's what this is all about. Make sure that you guys have fun safely. Now, I don't want anyone to think like, hey, you can go jump this thing because Johnny in his video jumped it a little. That's at your own risk. So at your own risk and perils. I don't mind taking the risk with my machine. I can handle if I have to repair it, and I feel like it can handle it. You know, these Bilstein shocks I absolutely love. It's one of the reasons why I did get the Badlands. Now, every Sasquatch package does have Bilstein position sensitive shocks. So keep in mind what I liked about the Badlands, as well as the stabilizer bar disconnect. That's going to be great if I need to be going over some very uneven terrain. But so far, just playing in the mud like this, the Bilstein position-sensitive dampers with end-stop control valves, that's for really jumping. Like, none of this playing in the mud, you don't need those Bilstein. So I could have just had a black diamond and been perfectly fine. Now the Sasquatch and the Badlands does allow you to have locking front diff. Now that's not available on the other models. It's not available on a black diamond. So black diamond's really good for, you know, light, heavy, or heavy light off-roading. It's perfect for, you know, playing in a little bit of mud, but you know, I got the Badlands just in case I take this up to my parents' wood farm, and that's very uneven territory, so very different than what I'm doing here. Now we're about to pop this in a field, and I'm gonna get a little bit of air, and actually would bottom out very much a normal vehicle, but you know, these vehicles do have a lot of ground clearance. You know, that ranges from about 8.3 inches all the way to 11.6 inches of ground clearance. The 11.6 inches of ground clearance, of course, is on the Sasquatch package, and the Badlands has about an inch less clearance than the Sasquatch, which is just fine for me. Now, we did get this pretty filthy, but you know, I do have the wrap on the bottom of the vehicle to protect. Marie definitely had fun. You can see them right there. And you know, the Badlands was high enough. Getting a Sasquatch would have been problematic, and here's why.
You're ready?
Yeah.
It's because of the dog in my hand. I can't go in. It's too high.
Come on, you can do it. There you go. Put some muscle into her.
It's a good thing that we have that.
So simply put, you can see Marie's the one that convinced me out of the Sasquatch package. She said it'd be too big, and she's right. She has trouble getting into just the Badlands. Now those are the Bilstein shocks. They're monotube, so you've got that extra tube for taking in and out of liquid, which is good for cooling. It's also good for, you know, being able to take the jumps. Those shocks also have a spring at the top and the bottom, so you don't bottom out, or when you're in the air, you don't, you know, bang up. Your wheel doesn't just, and its weight doesn't just bang the shock up. And I'll be showing that in a bit of a field, some light jumping, nothing high, nothing serious. But here's an issue. Soft top. That back window gets dirty, and after I couldn't see anything out of that back window. So that's going to be an issue when you're, you know, mudding. It's also going to be an issue with just winter filth. If you're in an area that puts down salt or calcium on the roads, you will have issues. Now, I definitely wanted the plates, sorry. I definitely wanted the undercarriage plates, the skid plates, because when you're driving through a field or just forest, you don't know what stump or rock is going to bang up on your undercarriage, so you really got to watch out for that. And I wanted that extra protection. You can see it here. It's covering all the little essential bits, like a jock strap for your vehicle. It's going to protect all those important bits that you do not want to be hitting up, such as the transfer case, the oil pan, all your goodies. Now let's take it to a field, and I can say in the field I'm so happy to have the Bilstein shocks, but I can say that the 330 horsepower and 415 pound-feet of torque of the 2.7 liter engine was too much. It was more than I needed. I had trouble with the traction control off. All I was doing was spinning at one point. You'll see that coming right up in the video. We were doing our best not to scream our heads off like little kids, because we did have a blast fooling around here. Too much power for two-wheel. So those Bilstein shocks take the bumps extremely well. That would have bottomed out most vehicles. The weight of this, about 5,200 pounds, and that would have bottomed out completely the vehicle. And you know, I've got those skid plates underneath for protection. I've got the Bilsteins. Oh, there we caught some air.
Oh, a little air. Let's do that in 4x4 now. For A, I don't know when to drop the power. spinning so much, I almost want the traction control on.
So none of that high speed off-roading bothered me one bit, because you know the Bronco, no matter what Bronco model you get, it's body on frame, fully boxed, high strength steel frame. It's got 7 cross members. Now that means those cross members go right into the frame and then are welded in place. So very, very high strong construction. So I'm not worried about twisting the frame. And when I was doing those, you know, jumps, I didn't feel at all any flex. It's very, very stiff. The high performance off-road stability suspension, or HOS as they call it, is great. I love the Bilsteins. I know I'm saying this for a 3rd time, but I wouldn't take my Bronco without it for what I want to do with this Bronco. Now, if you're just going to play in the mud, forget the Bilsteins. If it's just to play in the mud and do roads like this here, you know, roads where you're not going to encounter anything more than about a 6-inch bump, it's going to be just fine. By the way, high speeding through this forest, tons of fun. Got a little nervous with the logs coming in on the side, worried I'd just rip through the body, but I dodged them just fine. And that's the thing, when you left and right in this vehicle, it's solid. And this part of this road is washboard, and it's not, oh geez, there we go. I had to dodge that right there. Now, it's not pulling the vehicle left or right whatsoever. No matter how washboard certain sections of this road were, and I've done worse washboard roads than this, the vehicle goes in a straight line. I absolutely love the electronic power-assisted steering. It doesn't get pulled left or right whatsoever. So this is a very precise tool. I am absolutely loving it. You don't feel the bumps in the steering, which is another advantage. Some call it a disadvantage. I'd say it's a huge advantage of the electronic power assisted steering.
That's a beautiful road.
Yep, Bronco will take you on your adventures. That was a huge hole. Just go right through huge holes with the Bilstein shocks, no issues. Not feel much inside, little vibration. Just eats up these bumps. Loving it. Whew. That was nice.
So far, what we've been doing, any Bronco would have done the job. You know, for a Badlands, I'm, you know, not even at 25%. I've used up maybe 25% of the full 100% of what this vehicle can do. So really not needing the stabilizer bar disconnect. Any Bronco would do. Even a Black Diamond would be a little overkill. And the 2.3 liter for what I'm doing thus far would have been just perfect. Not necessary to have more whatsoever. But here's the thing, I think a lot of people are going to go Sasquatch just for the incredible look. But if you're not going to do any hardcore off-roading, why not get a less expensive model and just throw on bigger tires? You know, you just need a lift. To get 35s on, you just need a lift, and you need to buy 35-inch tires. Now, I can definitely think the 2.3 would have made me very happy, but so far with the 2.7 liter, I'm not horribly disappointed with the gas. I'm getting about 17.8 miles per gallon, and that's with, you know, being hard on the gas pedal and having an average speed of, you know, 48 kilometers per hour, so about 36-37 miles per hour. So I'm getting, you know, not horrible gas mileage for, you know, something less aerodynamic than a cow, and that weighs a whole lot more than a cow. This weighs about 5,200 pounds, so not all that disappointed. You can see from the back window here, though, the soft top, not really a regret, but, you know, mixed feelings, because it's super easy to throw the top off, put it back on, you know, 6 seconds. It started to rain and it took me 6 seconds to run out of the vehicle and close the top. And I wouldn't have that with the hard top, but I also wouldn't have a filthy window that I can't see anything out of. So those are some soft top issues. Noise is not a soft top issue though. We were driving with the top, the first section, which opens up way more than taking off the first section on a hard top. We were driving that with that down, and the music was coming in fantastically at volume 12. So the whole family was really happy, and we've had a lot of fun. Winston, we're almost there. You getting excited? You getting excited, buddy? Yeah? You want to go wheeling? Yeah? Go play in the dirt? So that's just something I'm loving about the Bronco, is no matter what model you get, it's going to be ample, more than enough to take you on whatever adventure, to get you out into the wilderness. Now, if you are going to be doing anything that's, rock crawling, go with a Badlands or go with a Sasquatch package, because if you're rock crawling, yeah, that's what you need. But for playing around in mud fields, playing around in the desert, playing, unless, it's really almost quicksand, your regular Bronco with its 8.3 inches of clearance will do the job. I also want to share that the Advanced Track from Ford with roll stability control helps keep this vehicle from tipping. I'm used to driving a Mustang in the corners, and I had someone in a truck following me just the other day, and like, boy, do you ever drive through the corners fast. I'm like, hey, I've got, roll stability control, and that's the only thing that's keeping this thing from tipping, basically. So I'm very happy with the vehicle on the road as well. Just want to point that out. And I also want to say that trailer sway control works great at keeping whatever you're pulling in a straight line. So the whole family is going to be fun, safe, and happy. We used to four-wheel, and we're liking this actually quite a bit more than four-wheeling. So this is beats out getting a side-by-side too, because we get to stay inside nice and dry. So we're having a good time. The whole family is very happy. And what else can I say that needs to be said? Well, here it is. Tips of the week. Break in your engine. That means varying your speed, and trying to keep it under, definitely under 4,000 RPM, but try to generally play between 2,000 and 3,000 RPM for the first 1,000 miles or 1,500 kilometers before doing anything like this. You want to break in your Bronco. I also suggest you get the skid plates, because they will keep you safe. They're covering the front of your engine, they're covering the transfer case, they're covering all the important bits, and that's important even if you just have the bad luck of running over some roadkill that's already been run over, as Marie did last winter with the F-150. I also recommend, before you get it dirty, do a ceramic detailer. Either pay someone to do a professional full ceramic job, or do it yourself, ceramic detailer. So then all you have to do is rinse off the mud without touching your paint and risking scratching it, and having it look great for another day. So what are my regrets? What am I happy with? Well, I'm really happy I got a Badlands, because I have, 3-peak snowflake rated tires, so I don't have to buy winter tires, and I'm cheap, so that makes me awfully happy. I do love the look of the Sasquatch, those big thick tires. Mind you, I do like the road handling of my Badlands. I'm gonna have to road test a Sasquatch very soon. However, the soft top, mixed feelings. Like I said, that back window getting dirty, not the end of the world. It's not all that noisy, definitely some road noise inside, but a hard top definitely would have been very, very cool. Now, a big takeaway, the front 12-inch screen. I should have gotten that. That'd have been great, when I'm going off-road, to have that front camera. I've used that on road. I haven't had a chance to use it off-road yet, but I would love it. But you know what? Unless if you're doing some pretty hard off-roading in some, rough forest, you can live without it, and people have lived without it anyways for generations. So you can definitely live without it. I wouldn't live without the skid plates. I do love the black grills on the Wild Track and the Outer Banks. So that's something I'd maybe consider if I were to do this all again. Probably wouldn't get that sticker, but hey, we all know what's going on with that. But I'm definitely not regretting my choice to own a Bronco. This has been my best purchase, and only because I pass people pretty often and I like to have that feeling of torque. I'm really happy with my choice to go with the 2.7 liter, but I recommend for anyone that just drives normally, the 2.3 liter will do plenty of what you need it to do. So I hope this video has been helpful, and if so, please like and subscribe. Until next time, I wish you all more cars and more power.